These are the two most popular budget microphones currently available. They are both from FIFINE and they are being recommended everywhere. Both are available in multiple colors, and while black is usually the cheapest, all options give you a great sounding USB microphone for less than $30. Now, both the FIFINE K669B and the FIFINE Ampligame A6V are also available as a kit with a desk arm included, and when looking at all four options, each with different prices, strengths and weaknesses, it's extremely important that you have a clear overview of all the information before choosing which option you should buy. So how do you choose? Well, I struggled with that myself, which is why I decided to make this video and do a deep dive into their similarities, the differences, and even their Amazon price trends to figure out which of these options is the best for which scenario. They're both USB microphones that sound great for the price, they both have a volume knob to control their input sensitivity, and they both come with a basic tripod stand. However, that stand doesn't matter too much since we're probably going to add a microphone arm on the desk. So that brings us to the 5 main differences. The first one is that the build quality of the K669B feels a bit better. And I intentionally made this my first point because it appears as if the design team of the A6V took the internals of the K669B, which proved to be super popular for a budget microphone, and then they just added a bunch of gamer and streamer features while keeping the production cost as low as possible. That's what it feels like to me. So what are the 4 other things that are different between these two microphones? Well, the most obvious one is that the Ampligame A6V has RGB while the K669B does not. Now, the RGB can't be turned off or can't be customized, however it does serve as an indicator for the mute button. And this non-changeable RGB fits the theme of this microphone. It's a budget and bare bones mic which comes with features that you usually wouldn't get for this price. And so that brings us to the next difference. The A6V can be muted by tapping on the top of the microphone, while the K669B does not have a built-in physical mute function. Now, of course, this can easily be done with a Windows or OBS Studio keyboard shortcut, but having a physical mute button does prove to be very handy once getting used to. Now, they do list on the website that you can even turn the dial all the way down to get it worked as a mute button. Nice translation, by the way. But this is of course not the same. Turning the volume all the way down also means that when you want to unmute later, you have to find your perfect gain level again. And I don't think anyone wants to go through that every time you decide to mute your microphone. Now, the last difference is that the FIFINE Ampligame has a shock mount, while the K669B does not. The A6V has elastics between the mount and the microphone itself, and these make it so that vibrations coming from the desk do not travel to the microphone and won't make a reverberating sound whenever you touch your desk or touch the microphone arm. And so having a shock mount can make a very big difference. Now, it can make a very big difference. It's not always like that. I remember testing the Razer Siren Mini in the past, which is a great microphone, but when connecting it to a microphone arm, you could literally hear every tap on the desk reverberating in the audio recordings of the microphone. So that microphone definitely needed a shock mount when using it with a desk arm. So what we need to do right now is we need to test both microphones with this microphone arm to see if the shock mount on the A6V is making an actual difference. It's gonna be 2 very quick tests. The first one is tapping the microphone arm to see if those vibrations reach the microphone. I think they will. Well, I think they will reach the FIFINE K669B, and I think for the Ampligame, the elastics or the rubber is going to absorb the vibrations and it won't really be hearable. And then the second test is going to be tapping the desk to see if those vibrations travel all the way through the arm to the microphone. So I will do the 2 tests right now and then I will show you the results. But it's important to mention that I am using the FIFINE microphone arm as well. The reason is that you might buy this together with a mic, or you might buy a kit that probably has this mic in it, and different microphone arms handle vibrations differently. Also, there's one last difference I forgot to mention between the 2 mics, and that's that the FIFINE A6V has a pop filter in front while the K669B does not. So we will be doing 3 tests. I'll do them right now and then I will show you all the results and my thoughts on it. This is a test of the FIFINE Ampligame A6V. And then this is a test of the FIFINE K669B on a microphone arm. The pop filter probably catches plosive pretty well. And then the mic also does not have a pop filter, so P sounds will probably be pretty hearable. Maybe that's not that bad. I will now tap the microphone arm. It's probably pretty bad. You can probably still hear it, I'm not sure, but I mean, there's no shock mount, so... And I will now tap the desk. I will now tap the desk. And then if you're not using a microphone arm, the mic will be further away from you, and then this is what it will sound like. And then this is what the FIFINE K669B will sound like when it's on your desk on a stand instead of on a microphone arm, a bit further away from your mouth. Alright, now real quick, as you can see, I'm editing this video and I think it's very clear that the K669B does have problems due to not having a shock mount. And searching through all offers on Amazon even confirmed this, as FIFINE offers microphone plus desk arm combos themselves, called the A6T or the T669, and the combo with the K669B microphone does include a shock mount, making it a full $10 more expensive than the A6V with a microphone arm. Now, I did a lot of searching on Amazon and I was able to make it very straightforward for you to make a decision on what to buy. So the lowest the FIFINE A6V ever goes on Amazon is just under $28, while the K669B often drops to $23.99 and also often has lightning deals for the same amount. So there is a real difference in price. However, this becomes less true when adding a microphone arm to the equation. So it basically comes down to you having three options. If you want the cheapest, good sounding microphone with great build quality but without a microphone arm, then take the K669B. It sounds pretty much the same, has better build quality, and it is cheaper. Now, if you still don't want a microphone arm, however you do really like the RGB of the A6V, you like the physical mute button, you like that it's more recent, then go for the Ampligame A6V. Now, in all other scenarios, you should go for the A6T combo. Seriously, $39 for a microphone arm, the microphone, RGB, physical mute button. It's a steal. I will link all options in the description because some combos on Amazon are just product combinations and not the actual microphone kits, and they are always more expensive that way, so if you don't go through my links, then be careful when browsing the listings. Thank you so much for watching, and I hope I will see you in one of my next videos. Have a nice day.